You are listening to Let's Go JoJo, the weekly JoJo's Bizarre Adventure podcast from Dynamite in the Brain and Secret of the Sailor Madness. On today's show, we have Niall Flanagan.
Hola.
Anthony Askew.
Hello.
Dwayne Maloney.
Hello.
And me, Brian Smith. This week's episode, Anubis, Part 2. But first, the week in JoJo's news. Viz Media have become the master merchandise licensee for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure in North America.
My God.
I don't know what that means as yet.
I can ask.
I thought they already kind of were. But I guess this means besides putting out the manga and stuff like that, they can put out DVDs of the anime and shit.
Well, I don't know if that means that, or whether they can license that to somebody.
Or maybe
whether it means they can do the merchandise, or they're in charge of organising. I don't know. People have leapt to massive conclusions.
Yeah. Rich people getting richer. Is that what's going to happen? Viz.
I don't know how.
Their
rich
money.
Viz are. Not rich enough to buy UK rights, so I can read their comics on Comixology.
Yeah.
God damn it. But weirdly, I still can't figure out why. So for JoJo's, obviously they don't have the UK license. But some stuff they do have the UK license for, because I can buy the Kindle versions on Amazon UK. But I can't buy them on Comixology UK, even though Comixology is owned by Amazon.
That is confusing.
It is. What is up with that? But that's not JoJo's news. It would be if JoJo's was available on the Kindle, because I'd be buying the hell out of it, even putting up with Kindle's lousy comic browsing.
Yeah. Would have put out the Fat and Blood and Battle Tendency, and eventually Star Crusaders back in print again. So maybe I'll pick those up.
Well, Star Crusaders is in print at the moment.
Yeah, but I'm missing volumes of my collection here, and I might get a few reprints of it. I don't know what would be any different. Would it be a new translation? Probably the same one. We have it there, and probably still be similarly altered as well. But if I do anything to get to fill in a few gaps that I have in there.
Okay. Also, there has been a music video preview of the Joestar's JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stardust Crusaders Egypt chapter opening theme tune.
Oh.
Don't know if anyone watched it.
No.
No. It was.
I don't think
would it be any more spectacular than what we already have?
No, it just seemed to be the singers singing it in studio.
Okay. Are they in cosplay or?
No, they're just actually just in the recording booth there, just in a way. It's hardly as exciting as seeing Star Platinum punching things and Dio being a creep. There's some sand in there, so you know, okay, Egypt, yes. Sand, Egypt, get it? Yeah, that's about it.
Okay. Carapedia.jp had a survey of 10,000 people asking what winter anime they would want to watch the next episode of. Mm-hmm. They look forward to next week, and JoJo's came 10.
10?
Oh man.
Okay, what the fuck beat JoJo?
Okay,
number one again, no doubt.
No, number one was Do Ra 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 Ra. Number 2 was Idolmaster Cinderella Girls. Number 3 was Kuroko's Basketball.
Fair.
Number 4, I'm not sure what that is. Oh, Assassination Classroom. Number 5 was Tokyo Ghoul Square Root of A, whatever it's called.
Boring.
Aldanoa Zero sequel, whatever that's called. I don't even
do, I guess.
Google Translator's done, I don't even know what number 7 is, because Google Translator's done a right number on it. It's made it completely nonsensical.
I know.
Give us a clue.
Give
us a clue.
Okay, Dull Her Brought Up How.
Oh, yes.
That sounds about right.
Your favourite.
Describe it in 5 words, or less.
Hang on, let me see if I can find out what it is. Cyanide?
Cyanide?
I assume that's the that's what his website's called. So I
like
assume
Mount
that's
Sinai?
assume that's like a reduction of the title.
Signed Eye sounds like some kind of...
How to Raise a Boring Girlfriend.
Ugh. Even know anything like that existed.
Then it is Yataman Nights. Then it's Kankol. Then it's Stardust Crusaders.
With Seven Deadly Sins!
That wasn't a winter anime.
Well, right. Fine. That is fine. It wasn't, you're right. I'm still living on that, Seven Deadly Sin type.
Okay. Number one position in males was Idolmaster, and for women it was Kuriko's Basketball.
Interesting.
Okey-doke. At J-World Tokyo, the Shonen Jump theme park thing, they currently have a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stardust Crusaders menu.
Ooh.
Where you can get Jotaro's hat in cake form. You can get Hierophant Green in parfait form. And you can get a Hermit Purple sandwich.
Ugh. Is that just red onions and red cabbage?
It is red onions and a photo of Dio printed on the top of it.
Now that is good. That bit is the icing on the sandwich. That's really clever. Bet that's an awful sandwich though. I like red onion, but...
Oh, and the kicker would be the make the sandwich now, but then the guy quite chop it in half for you.
The chef just
you'd
puts
pay for
his
that.
fist through it. Squash sandwich.
Yeah, the sandwich looks great. It's like a white bread sandwich with Dio's face sitting on a bed of red onions.
I bet your breath stinks after eating that sandwich.
Yeah. Put a bit of garlic in there and keep vampires away.
Okay, at the Setsubun Festival which shrine was this? Iwate Sakurayama Shrine. They had demons in the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure themed demons for you to throw beans at.
So like the models, they weren't traditional demons, they were just, I assume, bad guys from JoJo.
Yes. That is exactly what they are. Let me show you.
Awesome.
I shall put a link in the show notes. And a link in the Skype chat for you guys to have a look at. They are pretty good.
Better have Steely Dan in there. Hate that guy.
Ooh, they're quite creepy.
Let's see here.
Yes. A cars appeared.
Okay. Is that an avatar? The one at the bottom right? What is that?
It is an avatar.
Oh, it is an avatar! Oh, I was thinking that's...
He might
That's
show up
not bad,
in later.
actually.
I don't know.
Yeah, there's Santana, Weather Report, Wham, and for some reason, there is an
the
avatar.
Na'vi.
It even says in this report, and for some reason.
Does it actually say that?
Yes.
Oh. Well, there we go. Avatar's huge in Japan. Or huge there.
But not there's more JoJo's characters. So that's what we do for bonfire night, Anthony. We can make a guy in the shape of JoJo's villains and stick him on a bonfire.
There's nothing I hate more than bonfire night. So definitely not, I'm sorry. All that noise. Smell of smoke. Ugh.
Okay, Bandai Namco have filed Western trademarks for Lost Song, Eyes of Heaven, and Cinderella Girls. Obviously, the thing we're interested in is Eyes of Heaven.
Oh, okay.
And talking of Eyes of Heaven, I think after we stopped recording, videos went up of Stroheim and Diego Brando in action.
Oh. The instant we stopped last week.
Pretty much, yeah. I think as it stopped, I got a Google alert about it. So.
They want them to release it rather than us breaking the news. That's where it is. The E-news over here.
And finally from me, Pat Metheny Group's best album jacket will feature JoJo's Bizarre Adventure TV anime art.
Oh, that's really good, actually. If I was a fan beyond that one song, I'm sure that's pretty good.
Yeah, they got the artwork up on Crunchyroll. It looks pretty good. It's like the Pat Metheny Group Essential Collection Last Train Home.
Great song.
And so, because you know where you've heard it, because pictures of JoJo's on the cover.
I can't find the article.
We can hear you looking for it, though.
That's not me. You would know. You would know if that was me clattering away. You would know.
Righty-ho. Anyone else got any JoJo's news?
Nope, I think that covers it. That's pretty comprehensive.
Yeah.
Okey-doke. On to this week's episode, Anubis Part 2. I believe it's my turn to do the synopsis again.
Oh, so we're doing turns on this now?
Yes.
Is that how we're gonna... So who's next?
That's how it always worked, I thought.
Yes.
I thought we just alternated until, like, someone hadn't done it and it was forced upon them. What?
You described the same thing twice, I think.
No, well, yes, I understand that. But no, I thought you meant there was a set play. So Brian, Niall, Dwayne, me, Brian,
no.
Niall.
I mean,
Dwayne,
if you really want to do this episode, you can, Anthony.
Oh no, thanks.
Okay. Right.
As much as I enjoyed it, but go ahead. I wasn't braced.
I know sometimes before you'd come in saying, "Oh, this is the episode I want to do the synopsis of." Normally, when it was one episode which you thought was the best episode so far. Okay, we left Polnareff in a barber's chair about to be decapitated by the possessed barber Khan. With Jotaro fast asleep, not knowing what's going on. So Polnareff pulls the lever on the barber's chair and slips out from beneath his decapitation. And he discovers that Khan is also possessed by Anubis. Meanwhile, across town, Joseph and Iggy are having a disagreement. Which leads to Joseph being farted at and Iggy wandering off. Which will pay off later in the episode. As you wonder, how intelligent is Iggy and how good is his sense of smell? Yeah, so Polnareff is having his ass kicked by Khan because Anubis can learn your moves after fighting you once. So everything Polnareff tries this time fails to work. And he tells Jotaro not to step in because he'll cut him because the sword itself is the stand. But eventually he has to beg for help from Jotaro, and Jotaro takes care of it by punching Khan. One punch, knocks him out, sends him clean across the street. Then they try and pick the sword up off him, they sheathe it, because Polnareff has worked out that if the blade is visible and naked, then it will possess whoever's holding it.
But I think he says, like, if you draw the sword or if you hold the handle, then it can possess you.
Yeah, I think if it's out already and you hold it, then you get possessed, like those mice in the previous episode. Mice obviously a lot weaker willed than crabs, as we'll find out. But now here he is standing in the middle of a street with a man unconscious with a giant slash in his chest.
Yeah.
And
it was nice that they went across all the other storekeepers who presumably know Khan, and he's been there a barber for years. It's like, oh my god, Khan just flew through his barbershop window with a big gash in his chest. And two burly dudes walk out with a sword. You know, it doesn't make him look good.
Nope.
And, the policeman comes to arrest Polnareff. And they fight over the sword, and in the fight, the policeman pulls the sheath off the sword as Polnareff is holding the hilt, and it's now his turn to be possessed.
Awesome!
I think and then Jotaro is going to have to fight Polnareff, and I think this is where he says that he never thought of fighting Polnareff. I was thinking, how could that be? You've spent all this time with him.
Punched Polnareff at one point or another.
When they met him, he was a bad guy, so surely he was coming up with strategies just in case Avdol fails. I'll have to step in and save everyone as I do.
Maybe Jotaro has never recognized Polnareff as a threat ever before. Not even on his radar, you know.
There is a lot of meta commentary in this episode on how this story is different to all the ones they've had previously. Because Jotaro even comments that he's going to actually this guy doesn't use tricks or magic. He's actually
He's
going to
have
have
to
to
be
physically
straight
fight
fight,
him.
like-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, obviously he's got problems now because Polnareff has Anubis, and he also has Silver Chariot.
Awesome.
And he also has fought Jotaro once before, and so Anubis has learnt Jotaro's tricks and speed. Even though Jotaro really did one thing to him.
No, he did two things. He punched him in the face and he caught the sword. And it's like,
Yes.
oh, so now I know your two moves. It's like, I've more moves than that. Like I could
Oh,
punch
yes,
you in the
I
leg,
forgot to mention
I
that,
could
yes.
kick your legs. There's
Kinda
multiple things I could do here.
Yeah. Kana got back up after he threw him outside and then swung at him with the sword, and he did the old ninja sword stop.
The grab and snap. Yeah.
Yes, and broke the sword. So then Anubis has the great idea, and this was a pretty badass idea, of giving Silver Chariot the sword. And so he's dual wielding stance.
Awesome.
Baller.
Baller. It is. I was
And
excited.
yeah, the longer that Jotaro fights him, then the faster he gets. And then Jotaro uses the extending finger, whatever it's called.
Star finger.
That's it. To attack him when he's in a pinch. But all that succeeds in doing is knocking some of the armour off. And then we finally get, as Niall wanted, it to come back into play again when it was first introduced. Taking the armour off makes him even faster. And, but he does the classic trick of letting the guy stab him. And so once he's stabbed him, he says if you push it in further, it'll be murder. But it was a trick. It wasn't going to be Jotaro's murder. It was going to be Anubis's murder. So he uses Star Platinum just to smash the sword piece by piece.
Just punch the sword, punching it for not so well so far, against ships, apes, dream babies, but we'll try all punching methods again and we'll see what happens. Yeah, well, it worked out. Good old punch, nothing beats that.
Yeah. I mean, like it was different this time around in that he had to catch a blade in his gut before he could punch it, which isn't the best plan.
Yeah. And besides punching the swords, he headbutted the sword giant when he tried to catch it again, but it was too quick.
But Dwayne, you've read enough Shonen manga to know that getting stabbed in the chest with a sword actually is the best plan.
It's painless, clearly.
There's a lot to go wrong in there.
But it always works.
Yeah. Just put some bandages over the gaping hole in your gut and you're good to go.
I don't think Jotaro's going to be in hospital for a while after a few episodes like the other lads have been. I think he's just going to be up and walking about.
It's only a flesh wound.
Well, like, after the guy's throat cut, then episode 2, he was fine the next day.
Yeah, but he went to hospital.
And it kind
I
of
don't
showed
think Jotaro's.
that the belt stopped it a little as well.
Did it though? I don't know whether they were saying that or was just a coincidence.
The two belts. Stop it. That's why he wears two belts. Just such just a turn of events.
The impenetrable fortress of two belts.
Wait, you got to keep your trousers up if one belt gets hit with a sword. Imagine the embarrassment. As well as getting stabbed in the stomach, your trousers fell down.
He's leaving a beautiful corpse. Oh wait, no I won't. Everyone will know my shame.
So Polnareff comes round and they sort of have a chat, and they don't notice that a small child being tempted by the shiny tip of the sword that Star Platinum had broken off earlier.
Yeah, where was that child's man? It's like, do you not teach a kid, like, don't pick up strange swords you see in the street? It's very simple.
Don't waste
shiny.
sweets as well.
Well, yes, he throws
Brand new.
Well, Anubis throws the sweet away.
Oh well, yeah, I
The
guess.
child doesn't. And this is the point where we learn the origin, I believe. That, yes, that he's, the owner of the stand was a blacksmith 500 years ago. And, he didn't want to fight Dio because Dio was the world's too powerful when Dio found him in a museum and got the sword as part of his gang. And, yes, but the small child and Anubis are thwarted when Iggy shows up. Because the small child is going to throw the sword at Jotaro to behead him. But Iggy bounces in the way to pick up the lollipop, sending the small child ass over tea kettle.
I knew you were going to say that. Put money on that.
And the blade goes off in entirely at the wrong angle. And bypasses Polnareff and Jotaro completely and heads towards the Niall. And then we get the final fight, Anubis versus Gravity.
Amazing, a bit of like Anubis just kind of trying to think his way out of the situation. Him just being a sword flying through the air, having no real control over the situation. It's beautiful.
Yes, it is ridiculous because he accidentally phases through something and then he sees a boat and goes, I'll land in the boat.
And then the fisherman will pick me out of the boat, yeah.
But instead he lands inside the backside of a cow.
That happened to be on the boat.
That happened to be on the boat, which Polnareff notices. And Jotaro
It's quite the distance away. That's good eyes, but yeah, Jotaro is like, why are you looking at cows in the river?
What's this word in that? There's a cow freaking out on that boat.
Like, shut up on the cow, I'm bleeding on my guts here. Get Grandpa and Avdol over here.
I just love the way it's been so serious in the episode up to that point.
Yes.
But as soon as it goes flying, Anubis' personality changes. And it just becomes outright comedy.
He's just like, cause you see the, apparition of a spirit inside a sword. It's just this kind of cartoon dog man.
Yeah, he becomes like from a badass fucking jackal Anubis headed dude to like a fucking Wile E. Coyote. Just everything's going wrong for him. It's pretty great.
Yeah, so this cow is hanging off the boat with its backside in the water and the blade slips out the cow's backside onto the riverbed of the Nile. Anubis is panicking that he's going to rust in days, and then he's trying to entice fish to come and rescue him, and then a pair of crabs.
I did like the thing of like, okay, I need to be politer because those fish just fucked off. It's like, hey, Mr. Crab, could you please come help me? I'll give you food. That was beautiful. And the crab's just like, nah. Because they're crabs. They don't understand dog speak.
Dog speak.
And at the end, they all meet up, and Jotaro comes to the conclusion that he's never going anywhere with Polnareff again.
And the other lads agree. It's like, yeah, actually let him wander off on his own to get killed anymore. It's much better this way. Oh, also Polnareff, again, much like friggin' Joseph earlier on, starts fucking with Iggy. Iggy's just sitting down, looking at the lovely sunset. It's like, oh, what a beautiful day. And he just smacks the dog in the back of the head. What are you looking at, you fucking idiot? There's no food over there.
So do you think Iggy knew exactly what he was doing?
It's impossible to tell.
Whenever there's lots of excitement, he's nowhere to be found.
Did he save the day, or was he stealing candy from a baby?
No,
I think both. I think a little bit of both. Just so helped that the candy was there.
Yeah, well, like, you know, when it gets so good at a thing, you know, it's considered because you didn't do anything at all. I'm telling you that, like, he is like the new leader, the new de facto leader. You know, he's got to babysit these 4 muscle-bound idiots and try and get them to Cairo in one piece.
And then we get a weird sort of educational comic excerpt
That was amazing.
Yes.
where we get filled in on the ethnicities of various people living in Egypt.
Like, this man is an Egyptian. This man is a Bedouin. This man's an Indian. I don't know what he's doing here. It was kind of like, why is there an Indian here? Very strange.
So they're not appearing in this country.
And is the point to say that all these different types of people, no matter what your ethnicity, you will find Mariah super sexy?
Yeah, leggy women is leggy women.
And then the next episode preview establishes that it's going to be a Joseph-centric episode.
Brilliant. That's fantastic.
Also, it has a very quick shot of Avdol grabbing the boobs of a statue, so I'm curious as to how that happened.
I'm hoping it's like a carry-on film with Avdol and Joseph.
James.
You're not too far wrong.
Excellent. So yeah, this episode was great. The action was really nice, like fighting choreography stuff happening, and then it got really funny. So really good mix of stuff. Like basically chopped down the middle. Oh god, bad pun. But like Polnareff was a fucking boss for a good bit.
Oh yes.
The chair trick and the throwing the hot towel at him. I mean, like he tried the same trick twice with the shooting the sword, but you know, he was pretty badass. Oh, and I did like the second time Jotaro tried to catch the sword, and instead, since he didn't catch it, he just slapped him with his held together hands. I was like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
It's a double karate chop. Highly effective. More powerful than a single karate chop.
I feel Whole Horse aside, Anubis may be my favourite of the villain stands. I'll miss him. 'Cause I like, as Jotaro says, there's no tricks and kind of magic. I like fighting. It's good to see a nice bit of sword fighting, especially with Silver Chariot, which is now the name of my car. My car is now called Silver Chariot.
Your car is red, but okay.
Oh, Magician's Red, how did I know? But no, it's, Anubis is great. I'm gonna miss Anubis. Oh, well.
Well, you know where he is. If you want to dredge him up and reforge him again.
Yes, maybe he'll possess me as a master swordsman.
Is he another example of completely breaking the rule of stands again? Because it's just like, well, he actually died hundreds of years ago, and is the stand as a physical thing? Also, don't know if he was a dog-headed man back in the day. That's a
Well,
thing.
isn't he a blacksmith stand? He's not the user. Well, I don't even know. I don't know how it works anymore.
It brings up more questions than it answers.
Don't think about it too much.
I'm willing to let it
You don't get depressed.
Yeah.
I am now curious if there are other inanimate objects with stands.
Is that like the One Piece thing where there are inanimate objects that have like devil fruit powder? How did you get a gun to eat a fruit? There's so many questions.
I believe in One Piece we will eventually learn that. Cause
you just shove the fruit down a barrel of a gun. It's like, that's how it eats. Obviously.
That's not how it eats.
But
alright, how did you get a sword to eat a fruit?
I was going to say, yeah. Later on there's a sword which is eaten.
But you chopped the fruit with the sword and it gets a juice on the blade and then that's kind of like
taste
eating
buds,
it.
Yeah, swords
what
are
if a
covered in
guy's
taste
cutting,
buds.
what if a guy's cutting a devil fruit to, slice it up like he'd slice an apple to eat it?
He missed out on the power.
But yeah, the thing is with Oda, you now know that he's got long game explanations for all these things, that he's had notes that he's figured this out a decade ago.
Oh, they said that about Lost. They said they had that.
No, but we've actually seen it pay off in One Piece.
Oh, good.
Her stance is the rule change as you go, which is great.
Yeah.
Anything else we missed?
I don't know. I will say I was visiting a natural Egyptian temple when I was away last week, and I can confirm that area is rotten with enemy stand users now. I was just trying to take a few photos, and I got like almost my head cut off by this dude. I think it was like the tree of diamonds or something like that.
So you have been to Egypt?
Yeah, I was in Madrid, and when they were building the Aswan Dam, they have all these like archaeological sites that were would have been put underwater, so they were all taken away and reassembled like brick by brick, mostly on higher ground in Egypt. But there was one that couldn't have been accomplished without the help from Spanish engineers, so it was donated to the Spanish government, and they just rebuilt that in a park in Madrid. And I went in and had a look around it. It's pretty cool.
Without the help of ancient aliens.
God, don't bring that
Spanish people
off podcast conversation onto podcast, Anthony.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just going to leave people guessing.
Aliens, it was Aztec super vampires.
We're going down an elaborate hole that we need to climb out of. Yeah. That I need to climb out of.
Yeah, we went into that hole after the episode last week. So let's stand clear of the hole.
Another thing I really liked in this episode was, where Polnareff, his Silver Chariot's arm becomes his arm sometimes?
Yeah.
I did like the way Silver Chariot's arm started bursting out of his things to block Star Platinum's hits. I was just like, oh man, that's really sweet. it kind of became like a 4-arm menace for a bit. So they decided to dual wield. Oh, good stuff.
Okie doke. If that's it, then that must end this week's episode of Let's Go JoJo.
Oh.
You'll be back here next week for Bastet's Mariah, Part 1. And in the meantime, check out our regular podcasts at secretofthesailormadness.blogspot.com and dynamiteinthebrain.com. And goodbye.
Adios, potatoes.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Camels with the hump, fat girls, thin girls, some a little plump. Slave girls sold here 50 bob a lump in the old bazaar in Cairo. Brandy, shandy, beer without a froth, braces, laces, a candle for the moth. Bet you'd look a dolly in an old loincloth in the old bazaar in Cairo. You can buy most anything, thimbles, fat cows, a little bit of string. You can purchase anything you wish, a clock, a dish, and something for your Auntie Fanny. Harem, scarum, what do you think of that? Benny, striptease, dancing on the mat. Oompa, oompa. That's enough of that in the old bazaar in Cairo.